have more wins than Cowboys. That's actually hilarious. Is that true already? This is the one. Whoops. No bullshit. I'm manifesting. No bullshit hockey questions. What the fuck, man? There we go. Jesus. All right, here we go. Come on. NFC East has two losing teams, the Giants and the Cowboys. Off to a hot start. Hot start. Who won the World Series last week? Dodgers. All right, they like to butter us up. They like to butter us up with some easy ones. Who just won World Series MVP? Freddie Freeman. All right. 3 for 3. Cruising. Which LA rapper performed Game 2 of the World Series? That was Ice Cube. That one could have stumped me, but I saw a tweet, so thankfully. I believe this was Fat Joe. All right. That one could have stumped me as well. Last season, this men's college basketball program made its first Final Four. St. Peter's, right? All of these ones have made it. Or has Purdue made it? Purdue's had to have made it. No! I don't even remember who was in the Final Four last year, bro. I mean, it's just never gonna happen, man. It's never going to happen for me. I like these, though. We're not playing all of these. Some of these weren't that fun. 3 guesses to guess the player. College, Vanderbilt. In my brain, I'm thinking Jared Vanderbilt. What college basketball players went to Vanderbilt? Let's go, did Jaden Ivey go to Vanderbilt or Purdue? I'm so bad with colleges, bro. What player went to Vandy? Darius Garland, that's a good one. Okay. I would have for sure gotten it with the 5th overall pick in the 2019 draft. I love these, the player path one. Which order did Grayson Allen play on these teams? Well, he's on the Phoenix Suns right now. Was just on the Milwaukee Bucks. Where did he start? I think he started in Utah. I think this is right. Yeah, all right. Easy. Easy. Which one of the following players was the first to total 200 points this season? I think Tatum. Okay. How many teams are playing today? All 30, baby. All 30. Which of the following players leads the NBA in total assists this season? I think Harden sounds right to me, but it might be Trey. Fuck, okay. What year was Domantas Sabonis drafted? I want to say 15? 16. What is the name of the arena the Rockets play in? They play in the Toyota Center. Where did Dante DiVincenzo rank in three-pointers made last season? Jesus. Not first. Definitely top. I want to say 4. Fuck. How am I supposed to know that off the top of my head? How many times has Steph Curry led the league in scoring for a season? I think just once, right? Twice. Fuck. Who currently leads the NBA in scoring? Is it Tatum? AD. Okay. 2 teams. No. Yeah, 2 teams. Thunder and the Cavs. Which team leads the NBA in total threes, man? I mean, if this isn't the Celtics. Okay. Shams bomb? Uh-oh. Pop? San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich suffered a health issue before Saturday's game, and assistant Mitch Johnson is expected to be the interim head coach for an indefinite period. Ooh. Yeah, get well soon, Pop. How well do you know the game? List the 10 all-time leading scorers among active players. Okay, LeBron. I don't want to type all of these out, honestly. Do I really have to do that? Kevin Durant. I'm going to try to go in order, if possible. Then I'm going to guess Steph. Or Harden, one of the two. Okay. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Giannis for sure will be on here. Bradley Beal, actually, he's probably on here if I had to guess. Who's ahead of Steph? No, Bradley Beal. That's actually a little surprising. Is Giannis ahead of Steph? Oh, DeMar. Holy shit. Absolutely. Absolutely, that's DeMar. Kevin Love's actually probably on here. Really? Matt with the 199. What games are going to be the best to watch tonight? We looked at it last night. The list isn't that great. Chris Paul, maybe. Actually, he's been here around so long, he has to be on here. I'm trying to think of some other older players who have been around a long time. Oh, yeah, Dame, for sure. A little surprised that there's no Giannis. All right, have we not tried Giannis yet? We have tried Giannis. We already have Russ. I don't know. Oh, Giannis is there at 9. My bad. No way it's Donovan Mitchell. I was kind of thinking Mike Conley. But there's no way. Kyle Lowry, there's no way. Jimmy Butler, maybe? I'm just thinking Paul George is actually a good guess. Hey! All right, let's get down to business. Let's get down to business, folks. Saints fired Jared Allen. There you go, everyone. What up, Bryson? We're going to get right into it. Good morning, folks. It is Monday, November 4th, 2024, 9:45 a.m. Central Standard Time in beautiful Dallas, Texas. We're expecting to get some storms today, so everybody buckle up. Quick little news bulletin that Shams just dropped earlier this morning, 5 minutes ago as of the time I'm recording this. Greg Popovich has suffered a health issue before Saturday's game and is going to miss an indefinite period of time. So hopefully Greg Popovich is okay, and he's back on the sideline before we even know it. So that's what we're hopeful for. Little Monday morning news update. Not the news update we were wanting to see, but quick recovery for Greg Popovich. Again, as of the time I'm recording this, I don't know what happened to him or whatever the case may be, but hopefully he's back on the sideline soon. Okay, we got a decent amount to talk about over this weekend. The NBA, man, it doesn't sleep. It's a soap opera. What can you say? Some games yesterday. The Mavericks beat up on the Magic. Blowout pretty much from the moment the game tipped off. The Magic really struggling without Paolo Banchero to generate anything offensively. They couldn't make a three. They got some pretty decent looks, but couldn't make a three, and they just don't have a lot of self-creators that can help them offensively. I mean, they were never going to be a good offense to begin with, but without Paolo, it's really going to be uphill for them. So hopefully he's back soon. Magic fans are really going through it. I don't know. He's not supposed to miss the entire season. From what I understand, he's supposed to be back, in a month or two, maybe. So hopefully he's back sooner rather than later, and the Magic can get back on track here because it's been 2 tough games without him. Just kind of sad if you think about it for the Magic. Like a week ago, he dropped 50 points, and he was the talk of the NBA. And oh my God, Paolo is making this huge leap, and the Magic are going to do X, Y, and Z, and now all of a sudden, it's not that. So that's how quickly things move in the NBA. But the Mavericks take care of business. I'm not going to speak too much on this game just because I'm going to be working on a video later. Mavs defensive rating of 107, best defense ever. Maybe this Mavs defense is the greatest defense in history. KCP definitely has been off to a slow start for the Magic, and he was bad in this game as well. They really need him to get going. Just 3-point shooting-wise, they really need him to find his stroke because they just need something. I think Magic fans were perplexed that Jonathan Isaac only playing 15 minutes and also attempting 4 threes. I mean, if I had to guess, they're probably just being very cautious with Jonathan Isaac minutes. Again, this was a blowout pretty much immediately. Like, why have a guy out there who's often injured longer than he needs to be? The Pistons beat the Nets yesterday. The Pistons are 2-5 now. They get their second win of the season. I saw a little clip going around of the Pistons. The Pistons taking the subway to this game. We love our public transit kings. I already have a soft spot for the Pistons, and this just makes me love them even more. My public transit kings. 7 turnovers for Cade Cunningham. Please cut down. Please cut down on the turnovers, Cade. But 2-5 for the Pistons. The Nets, I was looking at their subreddit. They were happy about this loss. They were starting to feel a little uncomfortable with how competitive they were looking in their race for Cooper Flag. They were pretty pleased to get a loss here. And the Hawks blow out the Pelicans. Zion out in this game. I mean, here's the starting 5 for the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram, Yves Missy, Jose Alvarado, Javonte Green, Jordan Hawkins. Jamal Cain's getting 18 minutes off the bench. James Robinson-Earl is getting 25 minutes off the bench. Their leading minute getter off the bench in this game. Brandon Boston Jr. 30 points. And yes, Jalen Noel got runtime. Jalen Noel. And A. Reeves. They traded for Austin Reeves. No, that's Antonio Reeves. So, season from hell here for the Pelicans. It just feels inevitable at this point. And I sort of expected that to be the case. They're 3-4. It has not been good. The vibes are really fucking bad. Even their wins are not that impressive. So that's some of the games we had yesterday. Had some games on Saturday and Friday that were good. The Nuggets and Timberwolves game on Friday night was incredible. Tough loss for the Nuggets. The Raptors-Kings game was incredible. Grady Dick really might be that guy. Warriors damn near blew a 30-point lead to the Rockets. That game went to overtime. The Warriors genuinely had a 30-point lead at one point in this game. Cavs beat the Bucks. Bucks now 1-5. We're going to spend some time here in a bit talking about Giannis and these potential trade rumors. We're stooping down to that level. We are stooping down to that level, absolutely, because why not? And some other games. But really the main storyline of this weekend has to be really miss watching the Lives Party. Will they be returning this season? You can watch them on playback.tv/slightly biased. Okay? We're live every night. But let's do a quick little standings update just because we did miss. There's been 3 days of games since we've done it slightly early. Cavs still undefeated. Celtics 6-1. The Knicks have looked like they've really figured some stuff out. The Heat have been kind of surprisingly competent so far this season at 3-2. And then the rest of the East just kind of feels like a clusterfuck. Like, what are the Pacers? We don't know. What the hell are they? What the hell are they this year? Strange vibes coming from there. The Sixers and the Bucks have a combined 2 wins. Both of those teams have weird shit going on. The Thunder are undefeated. They look incredible, and I'm gonna say this right now. They look like the best team in the NBA. I do think the Celtics are kind of, Peyton Pritchard's getting so many minutes. They're toying with the rotations. You can tell the Celtics aren't taking the regular season or early regular season that seriously, and they're still 6-1. But to me, the Thunder look far and away like the best team in the league currently. Just being honest with you. Through 7 games of the season. The Suns look incredible as well. They've only lost once. Golden State's still 5-1. The Mavs 4-2. The Lakers 4-2. The Grizzlies have 4 wins. And the Jazz are still searching for win number 1 on the season. The only winless team in the NBA currently, the Utah Jazz. The only team in the Western Conference without 2 wins. So there you go. Not only are they the only winless team, they're the only team without 1 win. All right, but far and away, the biggest storyline of this weekend had to be the Joel Embiid saga that unfolded. The Sixers are obviously off to a tough start, 1-4 to start the season. Joel Embiid's yet to play a game. Paul George is yet to play a game. However, Paul George is set to make his return tonight against the Phoenix Suns. And we had some drama. We had some drama unfold in the Philadelphia 76ers locker room following a loss on Saturday night. Was it Saturday night or Friday night? One of the nights of the week. Joel Embiid reportedly got into it with a reporter to the point where a punch might have been thrown, but they say that it's a shove. I'm going to be honest with you. I would have to imagine it's probably a punch and that they're trying to, they're trying to reel it in a little bit. Keith Pompey tweeted out. This was on Saturday night. Keith Pompey tweeted out, who's a reporter for the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly Inquirer. Oh boy, people remember the Sixers season for all the wrong reasons. The team just dropped a 1-4 and Joel Embiid assaulted a reporter in the locker room. Somebody replied to him and said, assaulted's a strong word or something like that. And then Keith Pompey said he punched him. Now he went on to delete that tweet. Keith Pompey did delete the he punched him tweet. And then we got some clarification from the one, the only Shams Charania, who had this to say. 76ers center Joel Embiid got in an altercation with a columnist. Why do I have a hard time saying that word? Columnist. Following tonight's game in Philadelphia, Embiid took issue with a recent column that referenced his late brother and son, and Embiid shoved the columnist. No punch. So this was building up. The columnist in question, Marcus Hayes, is that his name? Marcus Hayes, who is a reporter for Inquirer, the Philly Inquirer, I guess. Who had a pretty scathing article about Joel Embiid before the season started. When Joel Embiid had that quote that was going around where he said, I do too fucking much for this city to see this, to see some of these things said about me. He was referencing this, and he mentioned this guy by name in that interview that he had in the press conference, whatever it was, little locker side interview. So let's talk about this. I want to start here. I don't condone violence really at all. I'm not going to be one of these people who get on here. I saw so many of these fucking people, and it's so funny to me. I'm not going to be one of these people who grandstand and get on here and are like, I think we should do this more. I'm saying let athletes, carte blanche, athletes get to punch reporters. Hey, normalize this. I'm going to say right now, don't normalize this. Okay. Now, I'm not saying I condone this or I don't condone this or this person didn't have it coming. We'll get to that in a second. I'm not going to say, yeah, we should make it a thing where athletes can assault reporters. That's absolutely fucking nuts. And I find it funny. I was looking at like the Reddit section here, and it was like people were like, I would have done worse. I would have done the same thing. It's like, let's be honest. No, you wouldn't have. I hate when people do this online. I would have done the same thing. No, you wouldn't. Okay. You're on a Reddit forum on a Saturday night. You're not doing anything to anybody. Okay. I wouldn't either, but I'm not going around saying, yeah, I would have punched him as well. I would have done worse. I would have put hands and feet on him. No, you would not have. Okay. Let's just start there. But am I going to say I feel bad for this reporter or that he didn't deserve it in some way? No, I will not. This Marcus Hayes guy completely went off the rails in a piece that he wrote about Joel Embiid. This was the quote here that everybody was talking about. Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son, Arthur, as the major inflection point of his career. He often says that he wants to be great to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother. Well, Joel's brother passed away 10 years ago in a tragic car accident at the age of 13. Okay, what the fuck is this shit tweet? I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the actual article that spurned all of this. Not that horrible tweet. An article about an article. Folks, is this where we're at? All right, here's what Marcus Hayes wrote about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son Arthur as a major inflection point in his basketball career. He often says that he wants to be great to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother, who tragically died in an automobile accident when Embiid was in his first year as a 76er. Well, all right, let's just say here, if you're a sports reporter and you're writing a piece about somebody and you are referencing somebody's dead relative, okay, and your next sentence starts with a well, you should stop. Well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up to work. Embiid has been great at just the opposite. Now in his 11th season, he consistently has been in poor condition. This poor conditioning apparently seems to have delayed his debut this season. Embiid won't play and Wednesday's opener for the next 2 games. I mean, it kind of goes off. I mean, he really goes off on Embiid in this article. Some of this stuff is like, the gist of the remainder of the article is it's not fair to the fans who are paying X amount of dollars that you're not ready to start the season. That's a completely different conversation, okay? This idea that Marcus Hayes wrote, insinuating basically that Joel Embiid's son and Joel Embiid's late brother would be disappointed or upset with Joel Embiid because he's not ready to play for the NBA season is so fucking insane. Think about what's being said here. Yes, Marcus Hayes. I'm sure Joel Embiid's late brother and his son are very disappointed that his mega millionaire dad, who's one of the 4,000 people in the history of the world to play in the National Basketball Association and is one of the greatest to ever do it, isn't ready to start the season in October of 2024. I'm sure he's very upset. Do you forget to tweet about the live? I don't tweet about these lives anymore. I don't just want to spam my Twitter timeline with 5 links a day. I don't really think it makes much of a difference, to be honest. So anyways, do I condone it? Will I say that reporters should get their ass beat in the locker room? No, I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. But do I feel bad for this guy? No. If you write about really anybody's, but athletes, dead relatives in a way like this, you should expect there to be tension and turmoil. It's the moral code we have as men. If you talk too much, you will get punched, and you deserve to be punched. Again, I'm not saying athletes should go about it, but yes, that is, if you write about somebody's dead relative like this, you open yourself up to a litany of possibilities. All right? That's just the reality. I wouldn't do it. That's not, I guess I can't say I wouldn't do it, but apparently, from what it sounded like, from what I saw, I saw a on the Philly show. There's like a, you know how they have the Dallas, the Denver. There's a Philly show as well. Worst article in NBA history? Maybe up there. But this altercation went on for like 2 minutes before the shove happened. Shove/punch. There's got to be a video of it somewhere. TMZ's got it. TMZ's got it somewhere. It is bad journalism. Look, if you want to make the argument that, hey, man, you kind of owe it to the fans. Like, these fans pay a lot of money. If that's more of a thing to take up with the Philadelphia 76ers organization, I would say, where it's like, hey, guys, what the fuck? Like, people pay a ton of money to go to opening night. You know, a ton of money. Like, opening night tickets are 4 or 5 times more expensive than normal tickets. Like, people pay to go to it, and then you, a day before the game starts, say that Joel Embiid and Paul George aren't going to play. You know? Like, that's fucked up. Okay, you're right, Xavier. I did just remember. Apparently in the altercation, Joel Embiid said, I don't care what media members say about me. And Marcus Hayes said, yes, you do. And then that spurned it. Now, Embiid does care, I think, a tiny bit. But hey, look, again, if you mention somebody's son, I mean, let's forget the dead relative part. That's bad enough. Son, if you mention somebody's child in like a way to like shit on a player, you open yourself up. That's all I'll say. And then on top of that, you put on a dead relative. Yeah. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody is going to feel sorry for you. Nobody who's a serious person is going to be like, fuck Joel Embiid. I saw some, I actually don't think anything comes from this, to be honest with you. But I saw people who were like, he's going to be suspended before he even plays. I doubt he's suspended. And then I saw people reply to that and like, he's going to be in jail. And I'm like, oh my God. Do you guys never go outside? Honestly. Some people who talk like that, he might go to jail. Have you ever stepped foot outside? Have you ever stepped foot in like a competitive setting? Absolutely insane. Can't honor your dead relative on the sidelines. I'm gonna say this. You know what? I'm gonna go out there and say this. I think being on an NBA sideline by itself is honoring anybody in your family. Just gonna say that. The percentage of people who make it to that level are so small. I think pretty much everybody in Joel Embiid's family and his ancestry is proud of him. I'll just venture to guess that. Okay, that's just me. That's just me making an educated guess. I think they're pretty happy about him. You know, the reporter sucks given how the internet was universally on Embiid's side. Yeah, I will say the Sixers, and really Philly in general, sports fans absolutely hate their reporters. So that shows you something. Now, Philly people hate everyone, so that's not saying a lot. Sally, what games are you watching will be the most entertaining to watch tonight? We'll get to that in a second. So anyways, the Joel Embiid situation. Just weird vibes in Philly, man. Weird vibes in Philly. I do kind of feel for Joel Embiid because I don't know what's going on. Because if there might be a knee problem, and this would not be Joel Embiid's fault. There might be a knee problem that the Sixers are a little hush-hush about because it does not make much sense. This Embiid thing does not make a lot of sense that he wasn't ready to start the season. I don't know when he plays his first game. He's doing 5-on-5 stuff, so I'd have to imagine it is soon. But I'd have to guess that there was a new thing that they didn't want to tell the league about. I mean, they got fined $100,000. So something definitely happened. That much is certain. But anyways, you talk about a dead family member or a child. Yeah. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. That's the reality. How are there 15 games tonight? Election day tomorrow in the United States. So there's no games tomorrow, so every team plays tonight. Who are more screwed, the Bucks or the Sixers? Without a doubt, the Bucks. And let me explain why. Let's get to that now. The Bucks are now 1-5 on the season. They have lost 5 straight games. They won their opening night game against the Joel Embiid and Paul George-less 76ers and have proceeded to lose 5 straight. A terrible loss to the Bulls, a terrible loss to the Nets. And then, you lose to the Celtics, whatever. You're somewhat competitive in that game. You lose to the Grizzlies. Okay, that one was bad. You got your ass kicked. And you lose to the Cavs on a Donovan Mitchell game winner. Okay. They play the Cavs again tonight. The Cavs have yet to lose. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. I think the Bucks pull out a win tonight. I do. However, it's been a not so promising start to the season for the Milwaukee Bucks. And to make the vibes even worse, Bobby Portis' home got robbed. He had to take to Twitter to ask if anybody knew who those people were. So just weird vibes all around. Here's the thing about the Bucks, and here's why I say who's in a worse spot, the Bucks or the Sixers. The Sixers, okay, what have they learned through the first 5 games? If Joel Embiid and Paul George are out, they're going to be in some trouble. Okay, well, we already knew that, right? The Bucks, what have they learned to start the season? We're slow. We're not athletic. We're really not going to be a good defensive team at all. Our role players are kind of schmucks. Well, guess what? You're fucked. Okay? I think they'll figure it out. I think that they'll figure out ways to be competitive. But what's even more concerning about this is now you're losing games where Giannis and Dame are popping off. That loss against the Cavs, Giannis and Dame both had great games. Dame with 41 on 13 of 24, 10 of 15 from 3. Giannis with 34, 16 rebounds, 9 assists. And you lose. Bobby Portis looks awful. Okay. I've never been like a super big Bobby Portis guy, to be honest with you. But he looks bad to start the season. Defensively, he's horrible. And offensively, it's nice to get, kind of like a guy who can score and has go-to post moves off the bench. I mean, that is a valuable thing, but doesn't really move the ball much. And the rest of their role guys are terrible. They'll look a little bit better when Chris Middleton comes back. That much is certain. Doesn't Giannis' defense look way worse to y'all, or is that just me? I mean, their defense as a whole looks terrible. Gary Trent's having a tough go of it to start the season. That much is certain. But the real thing is there's a lot of Giannis rumors, a lot of trade rumors and speculation about Giannis. And I hate that we're even getting into this. But we're getting into this. What could a Giannis trade potentially even look like? Now, whenever I said we were going to talk about this, for some reason I thought Bleacher Report dropped an article where they did a bunch of Giannis mock trades, but that was not the case. I'm not going on Fanspo. I'm telling you that right now. We're going to find some other article out there that lists some potential trades because I'm not going on fucking Fanspo. But it just feels like we're leading to this point, man. I'm sorry. I really hate to be that guy. But here's the thing. Giannis has always put a lot of pressure on this Bucks team. He's always said, he's always had some remarks in the media that you could read into. Stuff like, oh, well, if we're not competitive, I don't want to be here. Paraphrasing, of course. We've had that weird comment he made in the offseason about, oh, well, people get traded in this league. If we don't win, I'll probably get traded. They might trade me. Very strange. Very strange answer. And anytime he puts pressure on the Bucks, they do something, right? He put pressure on the Bucks back in 2020. What did they do? They went out and they traded for Drew Holiday, and they went on to win a championship. That worked. He put pressure on them again. What did they do? They traded Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard. That has not worked. They've been through 3 different coaches in 3 years. Giannis damn near handpicked the coaches. So, in a lot of ways, this fuckery that they find themselves in is on Giannis. But also, they're kind of running out of things. Like, there's not a Drew Holiday trade out there for them right now. There's not a Dame trade. Like, they're running out of options here. Their roster is old. Their young talent's not great. Would you trade Chet for Giannis? No, I actually would not do that if I were the Thunder. Being completely honest, I would not. Absolutely not would I do that. So let's look around the league. If Giannis does get traded, and I was asking this on the playback stream last night, like what does the Bucks record have to get to for Doc to get fired? Because I was saying I don't think there's any world in which Doc gets fired during the season. I think he's got too much, standing in the NBA to just be fired midseason like that. But if they're like 10 games below 500 in December or something, is he fired? I know that they can't fire him. I agree with you, but I'm saying if it gets to a certain point, they almost have to, right? And I don't think there's any world in which Giannis gets traded midseason. None at all. They could be 20 games below 500. I don't think that they would trade him midseason. But I sort of feel like I feel like it's kind of just like an open secret now. I saw reports that people were texting, that report dropped that Giannis would want to go to Miami or Brooklyn. I forgot who it was, so this is bad reporting on my end. But hey, I'm not a reporter. I'm just a fucking guy. But I saw a tweet that said somebody was asking around execs about that report that he wanted to go to Miami or Brooklyn, and the execs were pretty much like, yeah, like we've kind of known that there's something brewing there. Is Coach Pop done? Fake news or not? All right, Tyler, I'm putting you in timeout because I have not liked your messages so far today. I have to be honest with you. YouTube at Lust for Latinas. Good God. Tyler, I love you, but we're not like, I don't know. The Pop situation seems serious. I don't want to do this like speculating about it. Okay. What up, Swayze? All right. Giannis Antetokounmpo trade destinations, ranking every team's chances for Bucks star from Warriors to Thunder. I'm hoping in this article they sort of map out what a trade could look like. If Giannis does get traded, I think it would be for a haul, but I don't know. This stuff never really works out the way you think. If Giannis goes to Milwaukee and says, hey, I want to get traded and I want to go to Miami, they'll make it happen, I think. And the return might not be as big as you might expect. So let's see. Ranking Giannis Antetokounmpo trade destinations. Tier 5, it's close to as impossible as it gets. The Suns, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Knicks, Heat, Celtics, 76ers, Lakers. So what? I know the salary cap stuff, but these teams can make it happen. Let's look at these teams. Suns, yeah, there's no trade there at all. Nuggets, no, there's no trade there at all. Timberwolves, I mean, yeah, there's really no thing. The Knicks is interesting because I've seen Knicks fans jump at this Giannis thing. I think the Knicks could make something happen, right? Could the Knicks not figure out a way to get Cat's contract in there and throw together some picks and stuff? Like, they have a ton of first-round picks still. I do feel like they should be higher than 26th. Same with Miami. Like, I think Miami, if it came to it and Giannis wanted to go to Miami, they would figure something out. Celtics, I would put Celtics dead last. I mean, what does a Giannis to the Celtics trade even look like? I guess maybe Jaylen Brown. Sixers, I would put them towards the bottom of the list too. I don't know what a Sixers Giannis trade looks like. Lakers, yeah. Tier 3, technically possible, but it doesn't make sense. How is the Clippers technically possible? The Clippers can't include Kawhi Leonard in an Antetokounmpo trade. They would have to move James Harden, PJ Tucker, and a smaller salary player like Kobe Brown. Okay, so put them dead last, because never in a billion years is that ever going to happen, okay? They are the team that's actually the least likely. The Clippers are actually the least likely, now that I look at what they could offer. Hey, Milwaukee, we want Giannis. Here's the problem: we have no picks, but we'll give you James Harden and PJ Tucker. What about Kobe Brown as well? What do you say? Huh? Little James Harden, Brook Lopez pick and pop game. Come on, think about it. Come on, James Harden, Damian Lillard backcourt. Like, come on, guys. They're dead last. Yeah, PJ Tucker. Hey, PJ Tucker reunion in Milwaukee. Maybe they loved him that much. Warriors. The Warriors could get a trade done. It would cost them virtually their whole team. Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and Trace Jackson Davis would get Antetokounmpo's salary number. God damn, wait. How much is Giannis making? Holy shit. How much is Giannis making? To be fair, though, it's not like Kuminga. I don't know what Kuminga's number is this year, but Kuminga, Podziemski, Trace Jackson Davis, I don't think I'm making a huge number. Is Giannis up to 60 mil? 48 million for Giannis. 5-for-1 trades almost never happen midseason. The Warriors would need to fill all those roster spots with minimum salary players. So you're the Milwaukee Bucks. The Warriors come to you with Wiggins, Gary Payton, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, Trace Jackson Davis, and first-round picks. That's not the worst. Like, if you have to trade Giannis, that's actually not the worst. I'm going to be honest with you. Giannis' wife is from the Bay Area and is Chris Haynes' sister. Really? They would try to convince Giannis to ask to be traded to Golden State if I had to guess. Interesting. I mean, I can definitely see the Warriors wanting to do it. And I think that the Warriors are trying to be on some bullshit, like we don't want to include Podziemski, which would make sense from a negotiation standpoint. But if you're the Bucks, that's not the worst. Like, I feel like you can maybe flip Andrew Wiggins down the line, Gary Payton's, whatever. You'd have to be a believer in Jonathan Kuminga would be the thing. If the Bucks were like, we see it with Jonathan Kuminga, we're comfortable paying him. We'll let him lead this youth movement that we're embarking on. I could see it. Podziemski is a good young player as well. So is Trace Jackson Davis. That's not the worst, honestly. Kings. The Kings have 2 first-round picks and 3 swaps to offer. De'Aaron Fox and Keegan Murray would get them to Antetokounmpo's salary. Oh, shit. De'Aaron Fox and Keegan. My God, can you imagine that? Sabonis, DeMar, and Giannis on the court at the same time. I don't think the Kings would do this, actually. I just think that would fundamentally change their team so much that I don't think they would do it. And also, are we sure De'Aaron Fox would be the one they would offer and not Sabonis in that scenario? I think the Warriors one seems much more likely than the Kings one. The Bulls. All right, let's see it. Let's see what could entice the Bucks here. Bulls is a 9-minute drive from Chicago. Or Milwaukee is a 9-minute drive from Chicago, and Antetokounmpo grew up admiring the Bulls. Okay. Zach LaVine and Bazulis could get the deal done along with 2 picks, 2 swaps, and a first-round pick from the Blazers that might never convey. I'm saying fuck no to that if I'm the Bucks. I mean, that's just Zach LaVine. I'm stuck with that contract. Nobody wants it. Bazulis, I'm really not convinced there's going to be much of anything. The picks are nice, but the picks are nice, I guess. They have stuff, but they're not good enough. The Blazers, yeah. Pistons, yeah. Wizards, yeah. Hornets, yeah. These teams all have draft picks and young prospects to throw at the Bucks, but would Antetokounmpo agree to go to them? Yeah, that's all fair. Can you imagine LaMelo and Giannis? LaMelo and Giannis 2-man game? We want it. Teams that could make an offer. Here come the Pacers. Antetokounmpo and Tyrese Halliburton might average 150 points per game. The Pacers still have 2 picks and 3 swaps available after the Pascal Siakam trade. Miles Turner's expiring contract, Obi Toppin, Benedict Mathurin, and Jarris Walker would give the Bucks some young talent in the pipeline. Okay. So you get Miles Turner expiring, Obi Toppin, Benedict Mathurin, interesting. Jarris Walker, interesting. You know, it's not the worst. I feel like that gets beat, though. I'd rather have the Warriors package. Now, that's not to say the Warriors are even offering that. Giannis and Siakam. It'd be Pascal plus younger players. I don't know. I think they try to keep Siakam. I think this one makes sense. Miles Turner's expiring. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Now, I don't know if that changes with assuming this would be a midseason trade. Isaiah Jackson tearing his Achilles, which is a terrible injury. Get well soon. Mavericks. Here we go. The Dallas Mavericks. Dallas has 2 firsts and 3 swaps to offer. When it's written out like that, people talk about the Mavericks went all in and they don't have. That's right. The Pacers and the Bucks do have a rivalry. Maybe Giannis wouldn't want to go there. Dallas has 2 firsts and 3 swaps to offer. Kyrie Irving and Derek Lively get to Antetokounmpo's salary. The combination of Antetokounmpo and Luka Doncic would be terrifying for the rest of the league. But this is another one that doesn't make a ton of sense for the Bucks. I do kind of agree that doesn't really make sense for the Bucks. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm not saying what I would do. I don't think the Mavs would even do this. And let me explain. Let me explain why I don't think the Mavs would do this. Okay, Giannis is gonna be turning 30 here in a month, right? All right. We've seen it now in the NBA, guys. 30-year-olds are have 4, 5, 6 years left. Like, it's not 30's not like a death sentence like it used to be, right? But I feel like Kyrie is just. They went out and they traded for Kyrie, and I think he's just like a sentimental piece of this team to the point where it's like he's a leader. He's everything's kind of changed since he's gotten here in the way that they've been viewed across the league by players and incoming free agents and stuff like that. I feel like they want to keep him, and I feel like they ultimately want a really good backcourt mate next to Luka. And Lively, I think if Antetokounmpo, Giannis became available, and there was a way for them to get him without shedding Kyrie, I think the Mavs would definitely include Lively. I would not say he's untouchable, but I don't see them doing this. You think there's any other trade the Mavs can make? Man, we're coming back to me in 3 months. I'm not doing the trade stuff right now. The Hawks. The Hawks have up to 5 first-round picks to trade. Oh, wow. So they're saying trade Trae Young. Trae Young and the number 15 pick in the 2023 draft, Kobe Buffkin will make the salaries work. What the fuck? The Bucks get Trae Young and Dame Lillard. Oh, man. Dame Lillard and Trae Young. What a sight. Why would the Hawks do this, though? I don't think the Hawks would do this, actually. Wouldn't the idea be to put Trae Young next to Giannis? Like, if you're trading away Trae Young and then getting Giannis, aren't you back at square one? Like, your team's still not really good. I don't know. Teams can make a good offer. The Spurs. Now, here's where things get interesting. The Spurs have up to 9 first-rounders to move. Devin Vassell and Harrison Barnes would help match salary. Combination of Giannis and Victor Wembanyama would be freakishly athletic, and nobody would score on them. Now, that's kind of fun, honestly. Can we see a world where that happens? Could we see a world where the Spurs make an all-in move? Giannis, Wemby would be fun. Devin Vassell and Harrison Barnes, and let's just say 7 first-round picks. Is that enough for the Bucks? What do the Spurs picks look like? Like, what picks do they have? They have some Atlanta picks that could be pretty valuable. Because the idea is if we give you Giannis and you have Wemby, your picks become much less valuable to us. Devin Vassell is good. So Vassell's an interesting young player if you're bringing a young player back for Giannis. Harrison Barnes is just a salary, matching salary. I'd probably want another one of their young guys, if I'm being honest. Probably another one of their young guys. Branham, Champagny. I mean, if I'm the Bucks, I'm asking for Sohan. They're probably saying no, but I'm asking for it. Although, if you do get Giannis, Sohan's fit becomes even weirder. Rockets. So the Bleacher Report posted a mock Rockets trade that actually looked pretty decent. The Rockets have up to 4 first-rounders to move. They could include Dylan Brooks, who would give the Bucks a good defender, along with Reed Shepherd and Ben Thompson. So I think one of the problems with this Riders having is if the Bucks trade Giannis, I think it's for a youth movement. I don't think they're like looking to get a guy like Dylan Brooks to help them win now. But then again, I think that they've traded some of their first-round picks, right? Like the Pelicans still have their picks from the Drew trade. So it's not like they could tank. They're in a really fucked spot, honestly. Along with Reed Shepherd and Ben Thompson, This is an appealing package for the Bucks. No, this is an incredible package. This is an incredible package. The Bleacher Report one is even crazier. It was like Jabari Smith, Amin Thompson, Reed Shepherd. I'm like, all right, I don't think the Rockets are. I don't know if the Rockets are going all in like that. But this would be a pretty damn good return. By far the best one we've seen. Reed Shepherd and Amin Thompson and picks. And Dylan Brooks is like it's not like a Harrison Barnes. Dylan Brooks will help you win games right now. That's interesting. The Rockets one's interesting. The Magic have 4 picks, 3 swaps, and a protected first rounder they can include in a trade. What would the trade look like? Jonathan Isaac, Cole Anthony, and Anthony Black could be involved, giving the Bucks some win now young players and a nice guard prospect in Black. Giannis, Franz. Yo, mate! Welcome to the Slight Delusional Club. Giannis, Franz, and Paolo. A little clunky. Edie, $5 earlier. I don't know why that didn't pop up, but thank you so much, Edie. Am I overthinking that? Or is that just a little clunky? I would much rather, if the Bucks just say, hey, we're trading Giannis, every team send us your package, and they got like really good deals from every team, I'm definitely taking the Rockets one over this Magic one. Just because Jonathan Isaac, whatever, he's not somebody you realistically could build around. Good player, still relatively young, but just never on the court. Cole Anthony, whatever. Anthony Black, want him to be good, but we're still waiting. The Rockets one's overrated? Really? Yeah, if I'm the Bucks, I'm asking for Franz. And I think you consider it if you're the Magic. But I think the Magic are sort of in their Thunder era where it's like, let's just see what this team has. I don't know. We're not like rushing to make any big trades. The Jazz. Okay, what does the Jazz trade look like? It's all the way up at 7. The Jazz have a ton of picks. All right, that's true. 8 unprotected first rounders and 2 protected ones. They have a star stretch big to put next to Antetokounmpo and Larry Markkinen. And those two would be incredible next to each other. John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, and Cody Williams would be matching salaries in a trade. So I guess my thing, if I'm the Bucks, like I said earlier, I have outgoing picks to the Pelicans. I have outgoing picks in the Dame trade. So for me, I'm looking for pieces that can help me win and stay competitive now. So ideally, I want young players like the Rockets package, an Amin Thompson, a Reed Shepherd, guys like that, maybe a Jabari Smith Jr., guys like that who are young, good upside, good potential. I don't really want John Collins or Jordan Clarkson. You know, Cody Williams, fine. Maybe Cody Williams would be good. I'm like, maybe. But, you know, all the Jazz picks, does that make it worth it? I don't know. Raptors. The Raptors have up to 5 first-rounders to trade. They have a rising all-star, Scotty Barnes. Rising all-star? Huh. The Bucks would surely ask for Barnes. Oh, my bad. Rising all-star, Scotty Barnes. Duh. I thought they said R.J. Barrett for some reason. My brain went to R.J. Barrett. The Bucks would surely ask for Barnes, who could be combined with the salaries of Bruce Brown Jr. and Kelly Olynyk. Why would the Raptors do that, though? I don't get why the Raptors would do that. Doesn't make much sense to me because I don't think that propels you into being like a championship caliber team. I would try to throw in other pieces. Bucks, yeah, the Bucks I think definitely that one probably goes towards the top of their list. The Cavaliers are rolling right now, so it would be a bold move to break up their core. Okay, what would this look like? Darius Garland and Evan Mobley? No, the Cavs don't do that. The Cavs don't do that. Absolutely not. The Cavaliers could add in a first-round pick, and they have 3 swaps available. If I'm the Bucks, I'm really listening to that. The Cavs aren't doing that, though. Garland and Allen. So then if you're the Bucks, you have Dame and Garland. I'm kind of looking at this from the perspective of the Bucks can't tank. I don't know if they would try to be championship contenders again, or if it would be more so, let's get young talent and try to build up a little bit. And if we're bad, we're bad, but we're not going to outright tank. Okay, so then the question would become, what is the Damian Lillard trade market look like? Like, what teams are then lining up for Dame? off the top of my head. I think Miami would be re-enter the Dame sweepstakes. And then what? Lakers probably are desperate enough. You say a lot of teams. But let's just look around the league. Damian Lillard, aging point guard, who's making a ton of money. You're going to have to give up probably a good amount to get him. Let's just read through the teams, and we'll stop when we see a team that makes sense. Cavs? No. Celtics? No. Knicks? No. Heat? Okay, we'll stop right there. Could see the Heat doing that. Bulls? No. Magic? I'll stop right there. I'll give the Magic a shout. Maybe this is the year for Orlando where they're like, all right, we got to get a point guard in here. Hawks? No. Nets? Wizards? Pacers? No. Hornets? No. Raptors? No. Pistons? No. Sixers? No. Bucks? He's on the Bucks. Unless one of these young teams are like, fuck it, let's get Dame. I doubt it. Thunder? No. Suns? Well, they would probably love Dame, but not really possible. Warriors? No. Mavericks? No. Lakers? Definitely. Possibility. Grizzlies? No. Kings? No. Spurs? I could see a sneaky potential scenario. Rockets? No. Nuggets? No. I could see a scenario, honestly. Timberwolves? No. I mean, Pelicans would probably love that. The Clippers would probably like it. Blazers? No. Jazz? No. I would say Rockets? No, honestly. I think that they're going to try and get... I don't think they're going to look for a guard, though. I think they're going to want a wing. So what? That puts the Lakers, the Heat in a bidding war, and then maybe the Spurs jump in, or maybe the Magic jump in. Lakers adding Dame is the perfect route, but would the Lakers want to give up Reeves? That's the question. The Grizzlies. Grizzlies all the way up at 4. The Grizzlies have 4 picks they can move. Desmond Bane and Gigi Jackson could give the Bucks 2 good young players, and Brandon Clark could be included to make the salaries work. So Bane, Gigi Jackson, and Brandon Clark and some picks. That's not the worst. But if you're the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson, Giannis, your defense would be disgusting. Pelicans are number 3. What does this look like? The Pelicans control several of the Bucks' upcoming picks. Oh, okay. All right. I see where they're going with this. If Milwaukee did want to rebuild, then getting back control of those picks is critically important. The Pelicans also have 4 unprotected picks they could throw along. What does the trade look like? Zion. Okay. The Pelicans could include Zion or Brandon Ingram, along with Jordan Hawkins, promising rookie Yves Missy, and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Okay. I mean, I don't think the Pelicans would do this, and I do not think Giannis would be okay with this at all. But if you're getting Zion and all of your picks back, yeah, that's pretty damn good. Zion, Jordan Hawkins, who looks like a good basketball player. Yves Missy looks like a pretty good basketball player. Or James Robinson Earl, whatever. And you get your picks back. Okay. I mean, I could see a world where that could make sense. I think you have to approach this, though, from the perspective of, would the Pelicans feel like they're a championship team after that trade? Maybe. That'd be a pretty good team. I mean, replacing Zion with Giannis is an upgrade, unquestionably. Feels like but Giannis would not want to go there. The Nets are number 2, so he's reportedly interested in going to the Nets. The Nets have an easy expiring salary. Ben Simmons, $40 million. They can match 1-for-1 with all of their picks. So, what, Ben Simmons and 7 picks. That's the trade. Take it or leave it. I don't think the Bucks do that, honestly. Apparently the Nets are on his list. The Nets and the Heat is what the report going around was. So you get Ben Simmons, and the idea is you get Ben Simmons' $40 million salary, and that's it. You're off of that. But you need young players if you're the Bucks, man. You don't have control of your picks. You can't tank. You have no young talent. So, sure, all these picks from other teams are cool. You know, what are the Nets picks? The Nets have the Rockets picks, right? Isn't that the trade them in the Rockets did. Knicks picks as well. Okay, like if I'm looking at maybe late lottery, if not late lottery, then in the 20s picks. I don't know, man. Trade all the picks you have to get the picks back. I mean, you could, I guess, do that. You could, I guess, go the route that the Nets went, where you get a bunch of picks and you trade those picks to get your picks back. But I don't know, man. Cam Thomas plus Simmons work? I don't know. Maybe. I think it could. So would the Bucks do that? Cam Thomas is the young piece you're getting back in return? I just don't know. I don't know if I like that for the Bucks. And then here we go. Number 1, the best option. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Holy fuck. What would that even look like? Let's see. I'm going to say right now, I do not think the Thunder would do this. Just immediately. The Thunder are already close to a championship. Antetokounmpo would put them over the top. They have a ton of young, high-level players who could keep the Bucks afloat. And they also have 9 first-rounders they can move. Jesus. Jalen Williams would be the prized possession in the Bucks in this trade. He's a two-way player with an easy path towards multiple All-Star appearances. Lou Dort and Isaiah Hartenstein would make the salaries work alongside him. I mean, that's easily the best one. But I do not, I'm telling you right now, the Thunder don't do this. I don't think this is the type of move the Thunder would do. The Thunder, when they get aggressive, it'll be for a younger player, a player who kind of fits their timeline a little bit. But yes, if this was being offered to Milwaukee, they take it in a heartbeat, I think, assuming that they're going to trade Giannis. J-Dub, Lou Dort, and Isaiah Hartenstein on top of picks. Easy. That's a 3P with major injuries. I'm just saying, based off of how they move, I don't think they do this. I really don't. I don't know, man. I don't think that they would move like this. So what would your starting 5 be? Shea, Caruso, Joe, Giannis, and Chet? They want J-Dub, Shea, and Chet to stay together. Yeah, I'd be surprised if Levine ends up in OKC. I'd be pretty surprised. I don't know. Out of all of these, obviously the Thunder one's great. But that Rockets one's pretty damn interesting. If that gets offered, which I could see the Rockets being aggressive. They want to be aggressive. That's interesting. All right, I can't believe we just went full trade talk the last 30 minutes here in early November. But hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right, tonight, all 30 teams play. They stagger the start times by 15 minutes. They did this last year. And my dumbass last time was like, oh, they did this during the election last year. And then I realized this morning, I was like, there's not a fucking election every year. So they did this last year. When? Why do they do it? They had the 15-minute staggered start time every team plays. I'm trying to remember why, though. Or maybe it was 2 years ago before the midterm elections. I don't really remember. Either way, Bucks and Cavaliers tip us off at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's an interesting one. These two played a great game a couple nights ago, and the Bucks can't go 1-6, man. They can't. They have to win tonight. They really got to win. The Cavs are 7.5-point favorites at home. Okay, Siri, don't worry. I'm not talking to you. Thank you, though. Warriors and Wizards. Lakers and Pistons. Celtics and Hawks. Grizzlies and Nets. Kings and Heat. That's a fun one. That could be a good game. Jazz and Bulls. Knicks and Rockets. That could be a pretty fun one. Hornets and Timberwolves. That'll be a fun game. The Hornets are pretty much must-watch television at this juncture. Magic and Thunder. Oh, Paolo's playing. Thunder probably going to hold the Magic to 50 points total scored. Trailblazers, Pelicans. Okay, hold on. The Pelicans have one of the strangest schedules to start a season I can remember. This will be the Pelicans 7th game, 8th game. This will be the Pelicans' 8th game. After tonight, they will have played the Golden State Warriors twice and the Portland Trail Blazers 3 times. So 8 games played by the Pelicans. 2 teams have 5 of those games. Weird schedule. Pacers and Mavericks, 8:45. Raptors and Nuggets. Hey, that was a great game last week. Sixers and Suns. Paul George making his debut, reportedly. Spurs and Clippers to close things out. Yes, the Thunder have had an incredibly easy start to the season, but hey, I mean, it all evens out in the end, right? This isn't like college football or anything like that. Like, this will all even out. Every team plays each other. It'll all even out. Denver opening night. Yeah, Denver might not be as good as we expected, but that's still a tough one. Chicago, Atlanta, San Antonio, Portland, the Clippers. Yes, those are all not good teams. But it's not easy to win games in the NBA, and they are doing what they're supposed to do, which is crushing these teams. So they play Orlando tonight, Denver on Wednesday, Houston, Golden State, Clippers, New Orleans, Phoenix, Dallas. I mean, it's a pretty easy start to the season, but it'll get harder. It all evens out. It does. It all evens out. If you're listening to this on Spotify, give it a 5-star review. I love you. Election day tomorrow. Holy shit. All right, folks, I'm going to go work on a video. I'm going to make a video about the Mavs game last night. Should be fun. And then we will be live tonight. Playback.tv/slightly biased. I'm not sure what time I want to go live just yet. The Mavs don't play until 8:45, but there's so many games. We might start earlier just to catch up on some of the shit going on. Maybe 8-ish. That would get us in there, like on these late games. Video will probably be around 2-ish, if I had to guess, 3-ish. So anyways, another successful slightly early. It's a date. Great. See you guys there. Don't be late. I probably will be, but you guys don't be. Okay? Thank you all for coming out. All of the OGs, you could have spent your Monday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys not regret it. Donations, members, you never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. If you missed any part of the stream, you can always watch it back. You can go to the Slightly Biased Clips channel where I post clips from these streams. And then, of course, on Spotify. I don't even know if we're on Apple yet. Apple's still waiting approval. It's unbelievable. But Spotify, you can listen to these podcasts as well. Just search The Slightly Early Show. Yeah. Sally, are you jealous of DeMar DeRozan being a very successful NBA player, multimillionaire? A little bit. I'm a little jealous of him. I'm a little bit jealous of him. Anyways, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you all later. Video dropping later. Make sure you guys gas it up. Gas that thing up, baby. Love you all. Bye.